Today I'm going to be showing you how I am designing my September bullet journal spread, and I'm actually doing this in a brand new bullet journal, so I'm also going to show you kind of how I'm setting up my new journal in general. I just have like 2 pages that I'm doing like a future log, and then another little kind of decorative page that's just fun and creative. So very excited for this, and I'm excited to be working in my new bullet journal. I got this one from Notebook Therapy, and I just think it's so pretty. I love the little like metallic gold detail, and it has it on the pages as well, which I think is so fun. Little focus. There we go. Yeah, I just think it's such a fun little detail with the little flowers, and it's very fitting for me. And what's also cool about this notebook is that the pages are designed for watercolor, so hopefully they won't like warp or anything as I'm painting them. My last bullet journal definitely was not designed for watercolor and kind of warped a few of the pages. Not terrible, but just not ideal. So I'm very excited for this one, and yeah, I'm excited to show you what I've come up with for September. Okay, so I am starting in my new bullet journal for this, I guess, the next few months, but I wanted to talk about this new candle that I bought. I got it from a local vendor here in Indy, and it's like a coffee, sandalwood, and leather scent, and it has these little coffee beans in them, and then some little stones and other little cute, like decorative detail pieces, and it seriously smells so good. So anyway, that being said, I yeah, decided that I wanted to have kind of a little pretty kind of decorative page on this left side. So I found some inspiration on Pinterest and from some other bullet journalers on YouTube, and I came up with these little pretty flowers and different little like leaf combinations, and I just kind of scattered them around the page and made them look very doodly, and I really love how these turned out. I thought it was just really cute and a lot of different types of little flowers and some berries, and yeah, just a little combination of things. So I loved how that turned out. And then moving on to the next page, this is where I did like a future log, and I just did like 9 months here, and yeah, we'll see. I don't know if this is actually going to fill up the rest of the bullet journal or not, but I just wanted to have a nice little pretty page that felt even. So this is from 2022 to 2023, starting in September. So I will admit all of these numbers were pretty tedious to write out, and my hand was definitely hurting by the end of it. And I actually had a hard time with like having my hand on the corner side of it, so I used my paintbrush box to kind of give me a little bit more balance. So moving on to my September cover page, I went with a very different theme, and this was actually inspired by a YouTuber, Leela Journals. Her content is absolutely beautiful. It's more of like a vintage, kind of dreamy, whimsical vibe that I get from her, and I wanted to have a sunflower theme. That was kind of the main theme I was going for, and then I decided to add some more like vintage elements to it. So I did this mirror with some little details, and then did a little picture of sunflowers, and then some books, little coffee, of course, and then I did some very little like ornate candles. And I just love how this turned out. It feels very dainty and detailed, and yeah, a little bit different than my normal spreads. And then I wanted to incorporate the sunflowers again on the calendar page over here. And yeah, again, these flowers were kind of tedious to draw because I did all of the petals and then I did some little lined details, but not too hard. It did take a while, and my hand was kind of hurting by the end of it. So anyway, I did a bigger like box calendar instead of just like the small numbers. I really liked how this looked, and then I kind of blocked out the extra days that aren't a part of September. So moving on, I decided that I wanted to paint these with watercolor. And the nice thing about this journal is that like the pages are specifically watercolor paper, so I wasn't worrying about them warping or being distorted in any way. So very happy about that. And the pages are pretty thick, so I like just the feel of them in general. So added a few different colors and yeah, to the flowers and leaves and some of the berries there, just kind of alternating between like purples and yellows and some super light pinks. And I did kind of a periwinkle color for another set of flowers. And some of the berries, I added some red to it. So yeah, I really loved this. I think it turned out so well, and yeah, I think it's really cute. And then I also ended up using my peach brush pen, which is one of my favorite brush pens. I use it all the time and just wanted to add a little bit of color to this calendar page and yeah, still keep it pretty minimal in terms of color. So there we go. Moving on to painting this September cover page and calendar. I added this like kind of gold yellow color to the mirror frame and added a little bit of detail just to make it like pop a little bit more, and then added the yellow to all the sunflowers and then colored in the little pot here. And yeah, I wanted it to have like a more like neutral, muted color scheme. I didn't want it to be super vibrant or colorful. Wanted it to kind of go with like that vintage theme. So added a little bit of pink to the flowers that kind of are around the mirror, and then made some earth tone colors for the books, and then yeah, kind of made more of like a bronzy gold color for the candles. And yeah, moving on to the calendar page, again, similar thing, colored in those sunflowers, added a bit of green detail to the leaves and everything. And then I also ended up using that brush pen again, little peachy color, to kind of go over the days of the week and then kind of blocking out those extra spots. So I think it turned out so well. And then moving on to the weekly spread, I wanted to incorporate obviously the sunflowers and like that vintage theme. And so instead of making it super detailed like the previous spread, like the cover page, I decided to do all of the days of the week with a little mirror, but make it a bit more simple since I was going to be repeating this a lot. I did have a hard time like outlining the mirrors. My hands were super shaky for some reason. Painting it wasn't as big of a deal, but like outlining it with pen, I don't know. They're not perfect, and I kind of went free-handed instead of using a ruler, so they're a little bit shaky, but that's okay. And then I ended up starting this spread with September 12th because in my old bullet journal, I kind of went into September, so that's why the days are a little bit off, like starting out. But here's the final flip through. I really hope you liked it. Please let me know what you think, and I will talk to you next time.